Hola, buenas tardes. This is Abelardo de la Peña Jr., Director of Marketing and Communication with La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. Feliz Año Nuevo a todos. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us today on En Casa con La Plaza. We have a kind of a different program today for you. The first of the year. We've been off for almost 2 weeks and a little rusty. And so we're getting back into things, as I hope all of you are. Getting back to work if you have work, getting back to school for all you people out there who have school-aged children, or if you're going to school yourself. But today we're going to be presenting kind of greatest hits of La Plaza Cocina. As you know, every Monday we have we present our cooking demonstrations, hosted, of course, by Ximena Martin, our Director of Programming and Culinary Arts, who has brought to you in 2020 some of the best chefs, restaurant owners, taqueros, mixologists, and more. So we'll be talking about La Plaza Cocina in 2020 and also what's going to be happening in 2021. So all of you who are out there, welcome again to En Casa con La Plaza. Our virtual programming, our way of celebrating, honoring the past, inspiring the future, and in recognizing the influence of Mexican Americans and Latinos in LA through these programs. And once we reopen our exhibitions, of course, and our programs, educational programs on our campus there at right across from Olvera Street. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat feature to let us know where you're viewing from. Ask Q&A. You could ask questions. We'll get to them further on down. Those of you on Facebook, again, welcome. Let us know where you're viewing from. Give us a shout out and ask questions, make comments. We appreciate them. Start a watch party of your own. We're sponsored, our new sponsors for 2021, starting today, PepsiCo, great friends at PepsiCo, and also Kaiser Permanente. So we'll get on with the show. And the way we're doing it is Ximena Martin, as I said, is usually our host on En Casa con La Plaza Cocina. However, she is taking a break for the last week and this week also, spending time, who knows doing what. But we're glad that she's going to be with us in a recording that we did right before she left. We had it intended to do a video recording, but unfortunately, things happen. And we have an audio recording, but we will be, here she is now. This is, of course, Ximena Martin. So I'll be playing the recording and then also switching over to clips that we described, that we're talking about, or that she's talking about during the presentation. It might get a little crazy here, a little awkward. I did not rehearse this one. I just finished putting it together. So we're all going to experience something different and new. So here goes. Here's the good luck to us. All right, enjoy. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to play a little, a little bit of the recording. And I see, let's see, I'll play a little of the recording that we did. And then we will, I'll show you a clip. So somehow when I stopped the clip, the recording, I lost my place there. So if you give me a minute, I'll figure this out. In the meantime, I see that we do have some Q&A. Let's see. Hi, we can't hear anything. Well, sorry about that. No sound, no audio yet. Okay, well, there you go. There's the problem right there. Sharing the screen, share sound, optimize for video clip. We're gonna show it again. Again, apologies for this way of doing things, but that's the way things go sometimes with this technology, especially when we are not doing things the way we usually do them. So here's again Jocelyn Ramirez, one of our first guests, talking about jackfruit and how she prepares it's a plant-based recipe, and we'll show you that right now. Here it goes.
Jocelyn, we got our first question.
Yeah.
It's Lola.
Oh, Lola.
She says,
Hi.
my jackfruit always comes out super tangy. Is there a way to reduce the tanginess? I get the canned jackfruit in brine.
Yeah, so the way that you can reduce some of that tanginess with the jackfruit and the brine, it'll be another step, but it's definitely not difficult. All you have to do is I like to take it out of the brine, so put it in, toss my jackfruit into a strainer, let it strain through, rinse it really well, and then I'll squeeze all the liquid out, just as I did, and then I'll put it into a container with water and let it sit in that container with water maybe overnight or a couple hours, and that will continue to allow that brine to seep out of the jackfruit, and then I'll strain it again and squeeze it again. And so that additional step typically tends to get most of that tanginess from the brine out of it. And if you squeeze it pretty well, actually, I'm not sure, Lola, if you're squeezing it when you do take it out of the can. I know some people just get right into chopping it up. But the reason I squeeze it is to try to get as much of that out so that my jackfruit can focus on absorbing the flavors that I'm going to show you right now, and what I'm putting in this dish versus really keeping a hold of that briny flavor from the can.
All right. I hope that's better. Marisol Perez, thanks so much for your efforts. It happens to all of us. Yeah, unfortunately, it does. Happens to some of us more than others, but thank you very much for your patience. Bess Petiak, thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah, we're trying hard here. Let's see, Dolores Chavez, no worries, this is how we learn. Yeah, we're learning. Liz Rodriguez Arzate, Happy New Year. Chispa Hills, the recipes, energies, and community is what we are all excited about. Well, I appreciate that very much so. I wish that we had it together here, but hey, we're doing what we can. I'm gonna just go ahead and go show you the next, excuse me, go to the next clip. And here it's with Esteban Castillo. Esteban, author of Chicano Eats, and we'll see, and he'll talk about the making of his book. So here we go with a clip of Esteban Castillo with Ximena.
I'm so excited that you're here. I just have to ask, what was your journey for this cookbook? I mean, from a podcast, Instagram, what was this process to get this beautiful book out to us?
Honestly, it was a very stressful process. I started this book about 3 years ago. I was 2 years into my blogging journey. I started my blog, Chicano Eats, in 2016, a few months before the election, the 2016 election. I was 2 years into my blogging. And a few months after that, I actually had an editor from a really big publisher reach out to me asking if I was interested in writing a cookbook. And that's not something that I had considered then because I had just launched my blog. And so I was still trying to find my voice. I was still trying to figure out what my visuals look like. And so it's something that I started to sort of chip at slowly. But it wasn't until 2 years after that that I really started working on a book proposal. And a few months after writing the book proposal, I sped off to New York and I ended up getting a publishing deal with HarperCollins.
Well, that's quite a success story from Esteban Castillo, a relatively new person on the scene. Started off with the blogs, Chicano Eats, on Instagram. Became an Instagram sensation, and with his beautiful photographs that he takes himself, and with recipes that he learned from his family, from his mother, and self-taught as well. He put together a really great book, and it's been on several lists of best cookbooks of 2020. So we celebrate Esteban's success here on En Casa con la Plaza Cocina. All right, next up, let me see what I have here. All right, there you go. Let's try this again. All right, so we have one of the things that we do on En Casa con la Plaza Cocina, who Ximena is so good. She has so many connections out there in the Mexican culinary scene, is a good friend of En Casa con la Plaza, good friend of La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, Maite Gomez Rejon of Art Bites. Not just a cook, not just a chef, but also a food historian. So she has brought several sessions to En Casa con la Plaza, and where she delves not only, she gives the recipes, does the cooking demonstration, but gives us a little bit of the history behind it. And we really appreciate her efforts in that to not only entertain us, of course, but also to educate us. So we're gonna go with a real recent session that Maite did with support, sponsorship support of Northgate Markets. So here goes.
So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Ms. Maite Gomez Rejon. Hi, Maite, how are you?
Good, thank you, Ximena. I'm good. I'm excited to be here as always. To talk about corn, masa. It's the season of tamales, but tamales are so time consuming that I figured let's make something. There's so many different things that are made with masa in Mexico. So I thought we'll make some memelas, and we'll make some champurrado, which is a chocolate corn-based drink that is so popular at this time of year around the holidays. It's warm, it's hearty. But before we do that, I thought I'd share a little history of masa, of corn, of maíz in Mexico before we get started. So should I just jump in? Just jump in
and do it.
We're gonna just tease you with that one. Maite, of course, gave a really informative history of masa and the importance of corn and chocolate on December's En Casa con la Plaza Cocina session with Maite. And you could see the entirety of all of these demonstrations on our YouTube page at La Plaza LA, on our Facebook page, if those of you who are on our Facebook page, and then also on our YouTube page. You could catch all of our En Casa con la Plaza Cocinas and all of 100 plus En Casa con la Plaza sessions that we've done that we did in 2020. And this is the first one of 2021. If you just joined us, this is a session, usually on Mondays. We have Ximena Martin, our Director of Programming and Culinary Arts here with us, but she's taking the week off. So we're just showing kind of the best of the clips of En Casa con la Plaza Cocina. So let's check out this next one. Let's see if I got it right. All right, here goes. This one is with somebody who just joined us on Facebook, Dolores Huarco Dueck, also known as Lola. So here goes.
Hola Lola, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias. Thank you so much for introducing me and for having me again.
Absolutely.
So I think since we have a brief amount of time to cook together, I'm just going to start with a really brief personal introduction, and then we're going to get flowing in the kitchen. So just on a personal level, because I know you covered my professional bio, I've been cooking since I was about 8 years old. Food has always been something that brought the women in my family together. And it wasn't until I was an adult that my passion and my profession kind of joined their worlds. And now I'm able to do what I do through Lola's Cocina, which started back in 2013 as a passion project to share my grandmother and my aunt and my mother's recipes, and ended up turning into a business. So now I create recipes, I develop recipes for national brands across the country. I teach virtual cooking classes, which used to be in person, but I'm really liking virtual because I don't have to clean my entire house. I just have to clean what's in the camera view. And I'm also able to open up my kitchen to so many more people, not just people here in Colorado. And then, yeah, I have my online shop, Lola's Mercadito.
Well, thank you, Lola. Yeah, Lola's really entertaining and informative. And as you can see, she does have a beautiful kitchen and a real light manner. I've gotten to know Lola through these sessions, as all of you have. And we look forward to having her on En Casa con la Plaza Cocina in the future. She was coming in from Colorado. We've been able to, through this communication of Zoom, and we have been bringing in and chatting with chefs and with cooks and others nationally and also internationally. So, and here's another cookbook author coming up here, which, oops, not yet. There you go. Who we is zooming in from New York. So without further ado, here we have our next highlight from En Casa con la Plaza Cocina in 2020.
So today, Leslie is going to prepare tacos dorados de zanahoria with a salsa de tomatillo. So take it away, Leslie.
Thank you, Ximena, and thank you so much for having me again to lead a cooking demonstration. I'm really excited to be here and to welcome everybody to my New York City kitchen. So what I'm going to do today is make, it's actually a recipe from my book. So they're what a lot of people would call taquitos. So what I grew up knowing is taquitos. So they're rolled up corn tortillas stuffed with shredded carrot that you fry in a little bit of oil until they're nice and crispy. And then I like to serve them with some tomatillo salsa and a little crema and queso fresco on top. They're super easy. They're really good. And honestly, they're one of the things I feel like right now when I have two small kids, they're 2 and 5, and I don't have a lot of motivation at the end of the day to make this big complicated thing. So they're actually fairly easy to do and deceptively like simple and good. You would think, you know, what else? Doesn't this need something else? And it actually doesn't. It works just like it is.
All right, well, there you have it. That was Leslie Tellez, author of Mexico Eats, zooming in from New York City earlier in 2020. And as you know, we do these sessions on Mondays at 3:30, at 3 o'clock. And reason why is because we're figuring this is the cooking time for a lot of people who are still staying at home and are able to get these recipes and recreate them at home. On our YouTube page and also on Facebook, we often do post the recipes so that you in turn can go back and get those ingredients, get out the frying pans, the cookie sheets, whatever it takes, and make them on your own. Marisol Perez, she's saying, hi, I teach high school Spanish and piloted a unit on street food. Would I be able to connect with someone at La Plaza to visit my class via Zoom this spring? It would be so wonderful. We could figure it out, Marisol Perez. I will get your contact info from our attendee list. Let's see who's let's see. Dolores Dueca, Lola said, I didn't even know I was going to be on today. Well, welcome, Dolores. You're always welcome here on En Casa con la Plaza Cocina. So next, let's see what we have next year. Let's see. I'm looking at my list here. A local favorite at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, because they're right in downtown LA, is Pez Cantina. It's located just maybe a mile or two from La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. Brett Thompson and his wife Lucy Thompson have catered many an occasion. They've done the live demonstrations and cooking classes there at when we were open, and when we will open again. And here we have and Lucy is usually behind the scenes, but here we have her doing something, a nice demonstration, which she did in the hot late summer months. So here goes, enjoy.
Today, she's going to present a shrimp avocado salad and a delicious mango margarita, just in time, some ideas for upcoming Labor Day celebrations here. I pass it on to you, Miss Lucy. How are you?
Good, thank you so much for having me. Welcome to our humble space, Pez Cantina, here in downtown LA.
So what are you going to start us off with today?
Well, for starters, I am going to be making an avocado shrimp salad. It is super easy to make. And for those of you who know the restaurant and know our story, you will know that Brett, my husband, is normally the chef. But what you may not know is that like Ximena said, I grew up in a family of 7, and we had an assembly line during dinner all the time. So my mom had built-in sous chefs. So if we were making chiles rellenos, one person was in charge of making the grilling the chiles, another person was in charge of whipping the egg whites to get them ready for the meringue. The other person was making the salsa, and the other person was making the rice. And then you could never repeat the same thing 2 times in a row because you needed to learn every station.
Okay, thank you, Lola. Thank you, Lucy. Lucy has appeared a couple times on En Casa con la Plaza Cocina, as has Brett, her husband, from Pez Cantina. They are open for takeout and dining, takeout and delivery. They're from their restaurant on, I believe it's on Grand. They're in downtown LA. Let's see, as I said, well, as you see, many of these cooks, they have a backstory of when they started cooking. Many of them, of course, learned from their families, as we all do. Lucy was part of an assembly line of her siblings. And here we have our next guest, or our next clip, is of somebody who didn't start off in the business either, but eventually he learned by doing, and now very well known in Mexico City and throughout the food world for his baking skills. And he's appeared a couple times here in Casa con la Plaza Cocina, direct from Mexico City, Eliseo Lara. So here we go.
Sometimes it's very difficult when I find a recipe and it just says like bake for 15 minutes. It's like, how can you say that? Like if someone has a convection oven, if someone has a gas oven, if someone has like a little countertop oven, these will bake in different speeds. So these ones, it could be maybe from 15 to 20 minutes before they are ready. You want to take them out of the oven when they barely start getting some color, but like very, very lightly. Let me show you the one that has been baked. This one barely has some color. On the bottom, it does have some color, but not on the sides or on the top. That's when you want to take them out of the oven. And if you can, please transfer them to a cooling rack.
To give you a little context on that, that was Eliseo Lara demonstrating polvorones tricolor, the little cookie-like pan dulces that you can find at the panaderias throughout LA, hopefully. Who knows if they're as good as the ones that he was demonstrating there, but they look pretty tasty. And that's kind of the beauty, and also we could see the demos taking place the freshness of the ingredients, the care being taken to make sure it's done right. And then the final results presented to us here via Zoom, but we can't taste them. So soon, hopefully, those of you who have tried out the recipes, some of you have, in fact, written back to us via email, letting us know that you have tried them and how good they have come out, or, you know, if they didn't come out quite as good as they look on screen, but at least you're giving it a try, and we do welcome that. So that was Eliseo Lara from Mexico City, and here's another one, also from Mexico. This one has a different backstory. As you know, in Mexico, there's a political and social issues with the disappeared, los desaparecidos, people taken from their homes, taken from their residences, and not heard from. This is this next session is from a group of women whose relatives, sons, brothers, daughters, husbands have been disappeared and had not been found. They banded together, and to raise funds, they created a recipe book, and photographed by a professional photographer who wrote a book and presented it. So this is just a little bit about one of the recipes by one of the mothers, el caldo de queso for her brother Roberto. And the backstory here is, again, in Mexico. We zoomed in directly from a kitchen in, and I forgot which city it was, but as you can see, sometimes, as in this session here, things don't go out as well as planned, but sometimes the spontaneity and the serendipity of the situation adds flavor to it. So here, check this out. I think you'll enjoy it. Let me get to it right now. All right, and it's in Espanol, and I'll talk about it later, but here goes.
Entonces, por favor, todos los que nos están mirando, que siguen apoyando el grupo, las familias, con este libro de recetas. Y ahí se la paso con esto de las recetas a Ana. Ana, por favor, sigue.
Adelante, Ana. Buenas tardes. Me quito de la página. Buenas tardes, hoy voy a preparar el caldo de queso, que era el que a mi hermano le gustaba mucho. ¿Quieren que le vaya dando ingrediente por ingrediente?
Por favor, sí. Dinos qué es el proceso.
Bueno, primero tenemos que lavar la verdura. Importante. Muy importante. Ya tengo tatemado chile verde. Ya está tatemado y está ya sin su cáscara. Sí, la música que escuchan es voy a hablar sin que me vean. Estamos en la casa de la suegra de Ana, es su cumpleaños. Y aquí en Sinaloa y en México se usa que cuando hay un cumpleaños se le trae un mariachi de sorpresa, ¿verdad, Ana? De sorpresa. Pues sorpresa. Por eso allá se va al fondo al mariachi y a la señora bailando. Estamos de fiesta. Qué mejor.
All right. As you see, just as she was starting to explain the recipe, start with the demo. Right next door, it was the birthday of someone's birthday party, and of course, the tradition in Mexico is to bring on the mariachi. And so El Mariachi Loco started, but we were able to both enjoy the cooking demonstration itself, as well as the music, the ambiance, which was part of a really touching story. So again, you could catch this entire Zoom session, En Casa con la Plaza Cocina session, on our YouTube page at La Plaza LA, and on our Facebook page, and as well as our website at lapca.org. All right, our final recorded clip, we have here another friend of La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, a world-renowned chef who really conceptualized and innovated some incredible restaurants, recipes, cookbooks, and more. He has since retired from the biz as a restaurateur and full-time chef, now living in Santa Fe, Nuevo Mexico, John Rivera Sedler. So here goes, just a little bit. And here he's demonstrating hatch chile rellenos. So that sounded yummy. It looked great. And here he is.
So we're going to take white wine and add it to the garlic and then reduce that by half. You can see here that Vilma is being very careful to not touch the veins too much. Of course, this is the door and it opens up from side to side. And then at the top, see, I told her to leave some seeds for a little vida, a little spice, but she took them all out. Anglo's like all the seeds out. Latinas like half the seeds in. A little more vida there.
All right, you'll all you women out there, Latinas, could let us know if that's true or not about wanting at least half the seeds of the chile in for a little vida. That was John Rivera Sedler in demonstrating hatch chile rellenos. And as you see, he used a little wine, some different ingredients. I forgot what kind of cheese he used, but check out the entire clip on our YouTube page at La Plaza LA or on our website, lapca.org. Okay, now we're gonna, that was the past, and let's go into the future. And I think I've cued this correctly so that we could get Ximena's voice into the mix as I also do the PowerPoint. So here goes. Let's give it a try. Good luck to all of us.
I'm so happy to announce they're part of our roster, is Machine, making delicious tacos in Boyle Heights. And we're also the winner of 2020's Taco Madness. Through the magic of DoorDash and Twitter, people were actually able to go to his pop-up and vote. And he was elected LA's top-notch taco. So we're going to have a conversation with him. And then another person that I've been following for quite a while. She is such a generous person online. She's been blogging for over 10 years. She has a cookbook that just came out. It's Meli Martinez. So for those who are starting to cook at home, I highly suggest taking a look. She has a beautiful Instagram. Any recipes in doubt, just write Meli Martinez. And what she does provide step-by-step recipes to do. And so I highly suggest visiting her online and also visiting her here when we speak to her in later this year. And the other person I want to bring in is Salvador Cueva. He wrote this beautiful book called Beverages of Oaxaca. He's like a photographer, anthropologist, documenting. He thought, oh, I'll grab some couple drinks in Mexico, you know, and then he went to Oaxaca and he stayed in Oaxaca. He has over 60 plus drinks from cacao, corn, seeds, fruits. And he beautifully documented going to the little towns and having the real people make these drinks and documenting that. And so we'll be having him live from Oaxaca, going into one of the towns and actually creating, having one of the folks actually make the drinks there live in person.
That's fantastic. That sounds like a wonderful lineup. And I know we're going to have a whole incredible bunch of people, as we did in 2020, for all of you out there to enjoy and to cook along with, or to review the YouTubes later so that you could do it at your own home. But we have something else that we're hoping that's gonna take place in 2021. Could you tell us about it?
Is the opening of La Cocina. As we speak, La Cocina is being built. We have a building, we have the shell, and now we're putting in the walls, the furniture, the stove. La Cocina is going to be going to have a teaching kitchen, a small exhibition space, and also a tienda and a comal. So with that said, in regards to public programs, I want to create different themes. And one of the themes I want to explore is masa. Working with masa is endless. And since we were so fortunate to have this beautiful comal, we have once a month, we're going to be working with a comal y mas. In addition to working with masa, I also have a series on plant-based cuisine. Also, we would like to do a multi-generational class, where it's an opportunity for you to work with your mom, with your aunt, with your abuela in a safe place, again, replicating those beautiful Mexican recipes. We'll still be doing our pláticas y pruebas, which are a little talk and little taste, and also showing documentaries and conversations, again, to continue the celebration of was just written up not too long ago in Food and Wine. The name escapes me, but they do this intense fusion of Indian and Mexican cuisine, but also traditional cuisine of Oaxaca. It's Celerina Florin, her name escapes me right now, but again, we'll be going to other kitchens in Mexico, in addition to other places here in the United States to celebrate Mexican cuisine.
All right, well, speaking of kitchens, I know you've been doing a lot of cooking in your kitchen as well. Getting ready for of course, for the opening of La Plaza Cocina, and during these pandemic times, just to get more in touch with the fabulous, I mean, just the Mexican cuisine, the entire spectrum. So we'll be touching on the different regions, the different states. And so what's been your favorite so far?
Again, with plantains and seafood, like a soft soupy rice, and yuca, other types of ingredients that are not so considered so common in Mexico, and very Caribbean flavors.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to 2021 with all of you, and Ximena, we'll see. By chat, by questions, making it interactive with all the folks out there that are viewing.
And it's been a pleasure working with you, Everaldo. You are the mastermind behind the scenes and making me feel so comfortable in this new way of doing. Again, thank you. It's been a pleasure to working with you and also being part of En Casa.
And Happy New Year to everybody out there. Again, thank you for joining us. This was a little bit of a different En Casa con la Plaza Cocina session without Ximena live and in person with us via Zoom, but with us in spirit as she's enjoying the rest of the holiday season. And of course, thank you all so much for attending, for joining us week after week for these cooking demonstrations by some fabulous people, friends of ours. And we'll be making new friends and presenting them to you in the months to come. Let's see, Diane Encarnacion saying that was nice. You should get Aaron Sanchez. He just wrote a book and he's just a wonderful chef. Totally agree on that. In fact, Aaron was at La Plaza de Cultura y Artes a couple years ago in a panel talking about Mexican food trends. So that was pretty cool. We have Dolores, again, Lola, thank you for all this wonderful programming, and thank you to you for being part of it. Marisol Perez, how amazing, can't wait for the Oaxaca drinks session and La Cocina. We can't wait either. It's been a long time coming, a lot of hard work by a lot of people, including our CEO, of course, John Echeveste, Ximena, of course, as the director of culinary arts. She'll be, of course, continuing with these Zoom sessions, Facebook Live sessions, and also our live sessions, Hecho con Amor, which are, we've presented some incredible chefs, Gilberto Cetina, Chori Man, along with favorites, Maite, Gomez Rejon, and so many others. And also our Hecho con Amor series will be taking place once we open both La Cocina, La Plaza Cocina, and La Plaza de Cultura y Artes. We miss you all. We look forward to reopening when it's safe. It's been really a tough time for all of us, but hopefully through these sessions, we're able to connect with you and connect with our cultura, connect with our cuisine, to make things a little bit, you know, nicer, for want of a better word. Thank you so much. We will continue with En Casa con la Plaza sessions. I'm scheduling the month of January as we speak. Right after this, I'll be jumping back in. But for sure, this Wednesday coming up, we have a Wednesday at 7 o'clock on En Casa con la Plaza. John Shaw, a historian, a lecturer, who will be doing a presentation on the native peoples of Southern California in the 18th century. So it'll be talking about the different peoples, the villages, and so on. It should be a very interesting presentation that we'll be learning a lot from. And then on Friday, the return of Mr. Dan Guerrero with his happy hour with another incredible guest, the one and only Charo, known as the Cuchi Cuchi girl. Not a girl, but a woman. And so she will be our guest on Friday here on En Casa con la Plaza at 7 o'clock on Zoom and on Facebook Live. On behalf of the staff, the team, our board of directors, our supporters, our volunteers, and everyone here at En Casa con la Plaza, and La Plaza de Cultura y Artes, we wish you a very happy birthday, a very happy New Year, and things will get better. You know, things have been tough this last year for a lot of us, but it will get better soon with all of us working together. So adios, hasta la próxima. Catch us at La Plaza. At La Plaza LA on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, lapca.org to catch up on to look at our session and look at our past sessions, 105 plus, ranging from all these cooking demonstrations to art, culture, history, entertainment, music, and so on. And thank you. Nos vemos pronto. And thanks for hanging in there. Bye-bye.